Remember when you used to have babies, you have kids, and you would be in the hospital, and they'd let you stay 2 or 3 days. Make sure that you're good before they send you home. Not with HMO. I had knee surgery a number of years ago. I woke up, I was in a cab. I'm like, what the hell? Where am I at? Cab driver, like, I've been driving around 3 hours with you. Trying to figure out where you live.
What's up, y'all? We are back. Why do I feel like I feel like I'm on Alice in Wonderland just sitting here. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna change location and stuff soon, so don't worry about it. What's up, y'all? This is the Joke Before the Laugh, and I am your host, Shantae Wayans, with my main man.
What's up, David Jackson, comedian.
Hey, we just came out for some packed, sold-out shows from La Jolla. This is gonna come out way later, but we are on the road and so excited. We did a on the road show. With Mike Venn, so y'all be seeing that soon. Anyway, I'm excited to have this guest in the building.
Hey.
My man's he's an OG, you know what I'm saying, been in the game for a minute. He is a comedian, an actor, a writer, and a boxer that I've never seen him box, but we're going to get into that too. Let's give a warm welcome to Dannon Green.
What's happening? What's going on, everybody? How you doing?
Hey.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
you for having me here with you, young lady.
Yes. You should do a whole brand of hats.
I think I'm going to now because everybody's starting to like say, "Oh, the hat is cool."
Yeah.
And let me tell you a story about the hat. So I went to my barber, right? And I got a bald head. So my barber cuts my hair, shaves my head, everything, does my beard, everything. And usually when after they do your hair or whatever, they usually give you a mirror.
Yeah.
This nigga was like, "Yo, you want a hat?" What the hell I want a hat? So like, no, my man. So I was like, what do I look like? So anyway, but what happened was he had about 40 hats that someone had given him. Actually, new hats.
40?
So, yeah, about 40 that, just lined up on top of each other.
Yeah.
And he went in there and he said, "Yo, man, pick one out. Pick which one you may." And I picked out 5 of them, so I have a couple of them that you've seen.
See,
yeah.
Okay.
You can't ever tell somebody to pick some hats or anything because I always go and when people want to give me free stuff,
Right.
I'll be like, how much can I get? Because when you say grab what you want,
Well,
I want every color.
I'm
he
grab
gave
what I
me a
want.
number. He gave
Right.
me a number though. It was like 5.
Well, you look good because I
Thank
can't
you.
wear that. I wear the long brands.
Yeah,
my
right,
head,
right. Yeah,
my
yeah,
head
yeah.
ain't built for that.
Yeah, I just got lucky with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
got lucky
You
with
gotta have the certain shaped head for a fedora.
You got to get
absolutely.
lucky.
You know,
yeah.
I've tried it. I look like a buffoon with a fedora.
Yeah.
It's
Well, y'all
not-
got hair too, so you know what I mean. Y'all got the advantage over me.
Yeah,
you know what
I don't
mean?
think I would wear it even if I was bald. I don't
No.
think I would do that even.
I think I'm a cowboy hat. I'm a cowboy hat guy.
That's cool.
Nah, you
Yeah.
look good, man. Dannon
Thank you.
Green, you are here in the building. There's so many things to talk about.
Let's do it.
Let's start off with the show, the series that we're working on.
Yes.
We're doing. Could we even mention it?
Yeah, we can. We're
Okay.
good. We're good.
So we're working doing this series called the Barbershop Larry.
Barbershop Larry.
This is the main man right here,
Yes.
and myself and Chaz Rogers are his co-workers, his employees.
My young co-workers that I hired. Them.
So we working for this old ass dude
I ain't that old, y'all, but you know.
on the
Go
thing,
ahead.
you know.
Go ahead. Had to cut her down. Hold on now. I ain't dead. I'm just,
Hilarious.
you know,
Well,
a couple
you know,
gray
I
hairs.
was
I know. I'm just.
I was
joking.
talking about character on the
Character-wise,
show.
yes.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
You know, but it's been a lot of fun. We've
It
been
really has
shooting.
been.
We got 4 more episodes to do.
We got 4 to go.
Yeah, and one thing I'd never asked, like, did you and Chaz come up with this idea?
No.
Or Chaz brought it to you?
So they brought it to me. So I'll tell you what happened. I had did a episode. So Trent Combs, as you know, Trent is the executive producer, and also Cobb Bentley Evans, who was wrote for Martin Lawrence and was one of the producers for the Martin Lawrence show.
Yeah.
So we got some good names behind it, and they also have a history of getting shows on television.
Yeah, for sure.
From Bounce to the other one,
BET.
BET, yes, and all that. So
Black Network.
Black Network,
All
yes.
black.
Yeah, all black, yeah.
Everything.
Black ass, black whatever, you know what I mean?
Happy Black History Month.
Yeah, Black History Month, yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened was I had did an episode of Family Time probably about 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah.
With Omar Gooding.
I can't believe it was that long ago.
It's long ago, I know.
Yeah. Wow.
You know how I time everything now? It's pre-pandemic. because you lose those 4 years.
Yeah.
I call it
So
BC.
right. So now you go pre-pandemic. So it was before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So what happened was I did an episode of that, and I had always said to him, hey man, I want to, I love to work with y'all. And it was like, yeah, okay, yeah. And then when I got that episode, it was only because I was hanging out, because, Bentley came up with, well, hey man, out of sight, out of mind. I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Can't remember. Damn. But I had auditioned for a couple of shows for them before. So we moving forward, Kenny Wack,
Kenny Wack.
Yeah,
Kenny Wack,
he,
boxing, shout out.
Yes, boxing.
Yeah. Oh, he's a boxer too. Go ahead,
was
we'll
pro
get into
too.
that.
Yeah. He helped produce and book Earthquake Show.
Yeah.
So Kenny had a movie that he had done called A Weekend with Uncle Kenny.
Oh, hilarious! They talked about this on Breakfast.
Yeah. So when I was at home, I knew they was having a premiere. This is true. This is crazy. I was at home, and the premiere was supposed to start at 7:00.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm laying in bed. Next thing I know, on top of my bed, I'm chilling. I'm like, damn, it's 6:30. And I'm like, it was in Encino, Encino, California. I live in Van Nuys. I was like, I ain't gonna make it there in 20 minutes or whatever. I ain't gonna go. Then I said, no, I better go, because if I go, Kenny gonna be mad. If I don't go, Kenny gonna be mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got up, right, Shantae? I got up and I went there. When I got there, of course, it was black movie, so nobody was on time. They was still walking the red carpet. You know what I mean? So I'm like, damn.
And he always on time, if not before.
Yeah, you know that. You know me. So I wound up, talking to everybody and Gray walked the red carpet. I saw Bentley. I spoke to Bentley. Hey, what's up, Bentley? Chat with him. Then I saw Trent. And I said, hey, what's going on, Trent? He said, I see you doing your thing. Because, we all post. So, everybody knows what we're doing.
Yeah.
He said, I see you doing your thing. I said, yeah, I know, man. And he said, you know what, man? I may have something for you. And I was like, and I told him, I said, nah. You told me that shit before. I was just like, I didn't care. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, mate. He said, you know what? I got your number. So I gave him my number in the show. Of course, my number popped up in his phone. He called my phone. His number popped up, so it's not like we didn't have each other's number. Right. You know what I mean? So what happened was he said, I'm gonna call you tomorrow. So this is just funny how crazy it is. So about 12:30, he hadn't called yet, right? So I go,
that waiting.
I'm like, I'll just text a nigga, see what he, you know what I mean? And then something said no. They said, if he's serious about it, they're gonna call you.
Yeah.
And no lie, within 5 minutes, my phone rang, it was him.
Look at God.
Hey,
Really,
at that.
I can't make it up, man.
That's a true test.
Yeah.
That's a true test.
So he said, man, I don't really know what we're gonna do, but I'll call you tomorrow. Because that was on Friday. So he called me Saturday. He said, hey, can you meet at the studio on Sunday? He still didn't let me know. I still didn't have no idea what it was. Doing? So if you remember, Shantae, it was supposed to be there at 3:00. I came late that day. I was about 3:15. Y'all were already there.
I was there at 11:45.
Which is 11:45. Yeah, which is crazy because.
Well, they said call time was 12.
Okay.
And you have to. Sorry to cut you off,
you
but the thing about me, and I'm trying to keep myself humble because I don't like sitting around because I start thinking about all the stuff I could have been doing.
Right.
Even though I'll probably just be playing my Call of Duty zombies or relaxing, but mentally, because you got to understand, this is guerrilla shooting kind of, and all these things. And so this is something newer for Trent and other people working on it. So we were there for a good 9 hours.
But this is the day of the table read I'm talking about.
Oh,
this is the first day
Okay,
I'm
my
talking
bad.
about.
Okay,
No, you're good on the first day. But no, the day of the table read, I came late. And you were there. It was you, Lionel Dalton, and Chaz. So when I walked in, I saw you. So this is exactly what I thought. I saw you. I said, okay, whatever it is, it can't be bullshit. Because she don't do it. This is what I said. And I swear to God, I'm not trying to gas you. I said, oh, Shantae here? Okay. She don't deal with bullshit. So it got to be something. You know what I mean?
Period.
And so that's when they said, we're going to sit down and read it. So we read it. I read the main character. But I still didn't know what it was. We were just reading it. So remember, we walked out to the set. He said, we'll walk out to the set. This was on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I put Trent aside. I said, Trent, what's going on? He said, man, look, man. You know how Trent is. You talk real slow.
Yeah.
I wrote it, I came up with this show, Barbershop Larry, and you're going to play Larry. And I was like,
yeah.
Like,
Word?
it was
main guy.
It was
Casual.
just like that.
Yeah.
And we blocked it, and then said, okay, be on set tomorrow by 8:00. This is no lie. We read the script one time.
Yeah.
we shot the next day.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. It's been guerrillish. Like we've been getting there.
Well, we slowed it down near the end. We was really tough in the beginning.
Yeah, we did.
The first 3 episodes was like, all right, look, come on. Then they did slow the first 4 episodes. Then they slowed it down.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
we
intense.
went the last 3 weeks. We went once a week. But first we did 1, then we did 2.
Yeah.
And I didn't like 2 because I felt like I couldn't get into, when I mean 2, we shot 2 in one day.
Yeah.
Right.
I couldn't get into the character the way I wanted to because I was thinking too much about my lines and then wanted to make sure I ain't getting it mixed up with the script that we're gonna do next. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I was gonna ask, 'cause like, what is the process of like if you're reading it one day and you're shooting it the next day? How can you quickly grasp onto that character?
You have to. You have. I don't know about your style, Shanti, but I just believe no matter what it is, you have to be ready.
Yeah.
You just have to do it because. If I would say this, I know it's, and I don't like to make it a black and white thing, but I say this: if Spielberg would have came and said, "Yo, I need you to learn these 10 lines by tomorrow," we'd be up all night trying to get it done. So I'm gonna do the same for them.
Amen.
Yeah, and I think it's crazy because people are shooting differently now. You know, the idea of like people shooting on the fly. Like I remember, and I hated it. Like getting there and finding out, like I need you to say these lines, and you'd be like, well. What is the character? Like, I need to know something.
Some background.
Right. So I can feel, otherwise you feel like it's all the same thing. But the beauty was, I was nervous at first because we were kind of learning the lines on set. Gratefully, they allowed us to like get that in the rhythm. They started putting the stuff on the screen for us to see, and our connection together.
Yeah, that's what I think really helped.
Yeah,
the chemistry.
I think the chemistry is really great. One thing about me, like I did my best to be off a book. That was just me.
Yeah,
but I really think in terms of this show, it's like very seldom you'll get personalities, not attitudes, but personalities that no one's. That like is humble type of personalities.
Yeah.
Like Chaz is really humble. Like Chaz is laid back. Hey, whatever it is, let's just do it. Whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he's the main writer. So with him there, and then Shantae already knowing like her personality, for me it helps because I got a strong personality. You know what I mean? But it's not an egotistic personality. It's like, yo, let's do it. Let's get this done. You know what I mean? But they cool with it. So we rocked together. We rocked it, yeah.
And because we're able to improv a little bit, like normally you go with the script, they want you to kind of say the word, especially
word
in TV.
Yeah,
word perfect, and then you could play around. And I think Trent and Chaz allowed us to like play around as much as we can, but also sticking to the message. Yeah. So that's been really fun.
And I think it's good because we're both comics. You know what I mean? That we know, we know when to kind of throw it in. And what I do like about us as a group, we didn't, sometimes you can get that overkill. So everybody wants to ad lib everything. It's like, add a funny. It's like, no, everything is not supposed to be funny.
Right.
Because we have like a lot of drama. We have drama in the scripts. And I really like that. You know what I mean? I really like that part of it.
Yeah, and then when I saw the first episode, I got to take a little sneak peek, and it was really, really really. So it was
I think people are going to be surprised.
Yeah. It was a really, really.
I didn't know you got the chance to see it.
I did. Trent, Trent. He
Trent.
all over the place. If you find him, you find him. And then he was like, you ain't see it. Let me show you. Because Chaz was trying to send it to me. But I kind of want to go back a little bit because Dannon Green, like first and foremost, before stand-up, you was a boxer.
And an educator.
And an educator. I forget that part because
I love that. I'm proud on that. Go ahead.
No, we're gonna get into it because for me it's funny because he was telling me he was a championship boxer, and I'm like, come on, man. And then he showed me this clip. Now the clip the clip is so blurry.
Oh yes,
you can't tell it's him.
We got
he got on the boxing mask. I'm like, nigga, that ain't you.
But I showed you my picture with Ali.
You did.
I showed you my picture with Muhammad Ali. Cool. And that was when I fought in the Golden Gloves.
Well, let's talk about that.
So I started boxing at 14.
Dang.
Yeah, out of Philadelphia. So that's when I first started boxing. I had 3 fights in Philly. And so my boxing story is this. I had 3 fights. I won my first fight in the Junior Olympics. I came in second in the Junior Olympics, my first
That's a real Rocky.
I lost
right
the championship.
Yeah.
Right. And then I had another fight and I lost. And what happened was I lost my mom young. My mother
sorry
passed
to
when I
hear.
was young, yeah. So I had to move a lot as a kid. And I moved out to Philadelphia. I was moving around. So wound up going to college. And I always would go places and work out, but never really get back into the
Right.
boxing part of
Yeah.
it. So what happened was I was in college back in Davenport, Iowa, my undergraduate degree, and I boxed at this gym called Pena's Boxing out of Davenport, Iowa, and that's where Michael Nunn. If you don't know about who Michael Nunn is, Michael Second to Nunn, he was one of the best middleweights ever.
Yeah.
I'm like a lot of people didn't want to fight him. Like they even said Ray didn't want to fight him at the time. This is 87, 88.
Yeah.
So what happened was I got a chance to spar him because he was coming back in town for a fight. So when he came back, they needed a left-hand sparring partner. And Alvino Pena was like, Green, you want to spar Nunn? I was like, oh, and it was like cameras and everything around. It was like, it was big. So I sparred Nunn for a couple of days and I was doing pretty good. People was like, yo, you pretty good. But people really didn't know I used to box out of Philly.
Right.
So I said, you know what, man? Let me get back in and see what I could do. So I ran off 12 straight wins.
12 straight?
Yeah, and I won Golden Gloves back to back, 89 and 90.
Man.
Yeah. So that's how I got back into boxing. And then I was going to turn pro. I lost to go to the Nationals by a fight. So I was going to turn pro, and I got invited down to Sugar Ray Leonard's gym in Palmer Park, Maryland.
You flexing.
Yeah.
You flexing hard.
So, but I did. I got invited down there, and then I sparred 2 days down there. And the first day, I was down there, man, they was beating the shit out. They was trying, these dudes was trying to knock me out.
They're trying to jump you in.
I knew it was going to happen because it's like anything else. When someone new comes into your gym, whether it's basketball, you don't want no new player to come in and just show you up. You're gonna put your best
No,
guy.
you got to
on.
jump them in the gang, you know?
So I sparred two of Ray's sparring partners. This dude named Bird and this guy named Mike. And Kenny Wack knows him. Yeah, so the first day I didn't do really well because I was nervous too, And then the next day I went home, talked to my uncle. I was like, man, what do you think how we should do it? And he's like, man, got to relax. I took a nice hot bath and all that. Came back the next day and I did well. So then they were like, my uncle said, well, what you guys think about him? He talked to the trainers. Pepe Carrera and this other guy. And they said, well, we like him, but we can't do anything with him right now because Ray's about to come in the camp for his last fight, Ray Leonard. So I said, okay. So I was still in Ohio at Ohio State, and I was finishing up my thesis. I already had graduated. And so I was driving back and I was like, man, do I really want to be pro? Because it's tough and you got to live that life. I had a good style. I believe I could have been a world champion. But what happened was I said, do I really want to live, eat, and drink this all the time?
Right.
So what happened was I was training one day and baby girl over here, she be joking on me sometimes. I have a list sometimes, right?
I love the list, though.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it used to be when I was a kid. But anyway, one day I was training, and when you box, you have to keep your jaw tight so you don't get your jaw broken. All that. I was working out one day, right, and I was jumping rope, and then after I started talking to my trainer, and when I was talking to my trainer, my jaw was tight. So I was like, and I could feel it. I was like, damn. And if you ever notice some boxers, when they talk, they don't talk clear.
Yeah.
People think it's brain, but it's not. A lot of times it's just that you get that locked jaw.
Yeah.
Your jaw's because the whole time for years you're trained to keep your mouth shut, to bite down hard on the mouthpiece. So I was like, oh man, do I want to do this? And then I said, I was working on my master's. I just finished it. Education, boxing, I ain't gonna go pro. So then I didn't go pro. But,
that is crazy.
Yeah, but I was good. Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So how does one find himself on stage after education in boxing?
So my undergrad, I was always an outgoing person, but I didn't get really outgoing until after I moved out of Philly, after my mom passed. Because if being from the inner city, especially when I grew up in Philly, you could not be a clown.
Yeah.
You could not. You're not. If you was a clown,
They test you.
Yeah, they're gonna test you. So I had to put that. Like in class, I'd be crazy. People always say that, man. You always was talking a lot, but I was, when I walked the streets, especially after I started boxing, it was about being cool back then.
Yeah.
Not no thug, just, knew how to, carry myself.
For sure.
So, but I always had people said I always had a good personality. So undergrad, I was always involved in everything. So my undergrad, just to tell you a little bit about that, I was president of all my classes and vice president of SGA, Student Government Association,
Wow,
my senior year. And so my last year, I was the one I would put all the fun events together, you know what I mean? And I wanted to be a rapper one time, man. I don't know how that would have worked with the list, but Well, EPMD, EPMD,
MC Lisp in the building.
I like that. So I was doing stuff like that. But it was when I went to Ohio State, I was in I was in school, and this is how it happened. So I'm at this club because on Friday nights, me and my two buddies would always meet at this club at the end of the week. You know, that would be our release time from school, from classes. So one time, one of our boys, he came late, Joey, and so Joey came late, and I said, "What's up, Joey?" He said, "Man," I said, "Man, where was you at?" He said, "Oh man, me and Tasha went to a comedy club and like that, right?" He said, "Man, them guys was garbage." He said, "Dannon, man, you funnier than them dudes. You should be a comedian." Like that.
Wow.
That's what he said. And I said, "Man, get the fuck up out of here." Because I always wanted to be corporate.
Yeah.
You know, I was, in the late 80s, early 90s, brothers was about looking G'd up, briefcase, you know what I mean? So I was like, nah, man, I blew it off. I graduated from Ohio State. So I have in my education, I have an undergraduate. I'm the first African-American to get an undergraduate and a master's in the field of computer animation.
Wow.
I'm probably the first person to ever do it.
Damn.
Yeah, because I went to the first schools that offered it as degrees.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And
amazing.
Ohio State was number 1 in the program. That's why we put it in the show.
better-
Remember?
yeah,
Remember
I'm
we put the
like,
Ohio State shirt in there?
yeah.
Because I rep, yeah. So what happened was I had graduated and I came back from Maryland, and then I was just working on my thesis. And then one day I was driving down the street and I saw on the marquee that said open mic night. And I said,
Yup.
man, I should try that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I called my boy Fred up. I said, Fred. He said, what's up, man? I said, man, yo, I think I'm gonna try to do some stand-up comedy tonight. He was like, nigga, you better not embarrass me. I'm like, nigga,
Wow.
I'm like, nigga, everybody gonna know you.
Now it's about you.
Yeah, everybody, yeah. So what happened was, and here's the crazy thing about it. You know how they do the open mics sometimes, certain places.
Yeah.
You put your name in a hat. And then they draw your name because they only have so many spots. So
Right.
you got more comics than spots.
Right.
So they had 16 comedians this night, and they had like 8 spots. And my name got drawn. And I always wonder if my name didn't get drawn,
Right. Would you have stayed?
would I have came back to do it, you know? And so they drew my name, and the first time I ever went on stage, it was a competition. I got second place.
What?
Wow.
Yep.
Do you remember the jokes?
Yeah, well, I remember one. It was 2 of them. I remember one. One was about Arsenio Hall. It was really weak.
You gotta do it. You
so I
gotta
said,
do it.
I said, man, yo, I watch Arsenio. I said, Arsenio Hall is getting all my white friends killed. Like I said, what do you mean? I said, because every time I hang out with them, and then we see people, they start. Remember how Arsenio go woo woo woo? They be like when they see some brothers, they go woo woo woo, and then they got shot. You know that weak ass. And then but they laughed at that. That's how stupid it was.
Well,
And
but
then-
back in the day, it was a little. When I say back in the day, not like
No.
but like there was different.
Well, and you got to remember, I started in Ohio. I started in white clubs.
Oh yeah.
I
So
just
they
started in
go-
black clubs. So they was looking at, they thought that was, that nigga's funny. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then I did a joke about, Asian people driving and hitting cars.
Classic.
Yeah. And
So you started that trend.
yeah, I started. And that's how it started. And then what happened was, so all the comics there, they were like, yo, who are you? They was literally like, yo, you funny, man, who are you? I said, I go to Ohio State. Oh, man, you're a funny dude, man, yeah. And I was like, okay. So, you know how when you and people tell you, like,
Yeah.
So I'm going home now. I don't know how to write. I'm writing shit out in 3-page stories and shit. So then they like, I don't know nothing about premises and stuff,
Yeah.
So what happened was this is a true story. There was a competition in Columbus called The Funniest Person in Ohio. And whoever won it would get to tour all the southern parts of Ohio, like Cincinnati, all
cool.
like little for like $25 a show, $50 a show.
That's
And
dope though, yeah.
Back then, the mid '90s, early '90s,
Yeah.
$50. Oh, that went a long way.
Oh hell
hell
yeah!
yeah.
Gas was
We
only
still getting
Right.
$50
Yeah,
right
$50
now.
get 50
That's
bucks
a long
a
way
gig.
for me right now.
Right. So it was a 6-week competition, and I won it.
Damn.
Oh God, I won it. And I won it because these white ladies were at the club. It was like one of them bar type things where you do it they come, they have the comedy show competition. And these white ladies said, you know why you won? And I was like, no. They said, because everybody was listening to you, and every week you came back with new material. And everybody kept saying they just wanted to hear what I had to say.
Yeah, they're here for the update.
Yeah.
We're here for the
And-
update. What's up?
Yeah.
That's how it started.
That's beautiful.
That is amazing. Who was Dannon Green in the beginning versus let's say who was Dannon Green in the beginning? Like what would you say? What kind of comedian were you?
I was definitely, I don't like to use the word corporate, but I was really like, because I came from an educational background. So
Yeah.
it wasn't street. It wasn't, it was really trying to be like a
more clean comedy.
Clean and really talk about major subject matters, which is why I still kind of got that style, but I'm different now. So, for instance, when I came out to LA, I did a joke one time, and when I got out here, and I was talking about computers, and I was talking about computers, and nobody in the audience was laughing. You gotta understand, like, this is how long ago. This is like 92, 93.
Yeah.
So for some of y'all, I've been out here 34 years. So,
Dope.
right out of college, right? So I talk about computers, and nobody was laughing. And I go, oh, y'all probably don't know about computers like that. That's what I'm saying. And when I got off the stage, Michael Williams, who was the owner of the first black comedy club, the Comedy Act Theater, where your uncles and everybody played that.
Yeah.
He goes, never underestimate your audience. Just because they didn't laugh doesn't mean they don't know what you was talking about.
Right.
So then that made me go, okay, I can be corporate, I can be intelligent, and they're gonna have to figure it out, or I'm gonna have to make it to the point where they can understand what I'm talking about. So I think in the beginning, I definitely was more trying to find myself, especially image-wise.
Yeah.
I dress on stage. I don't overly dress, but I dress nice. Like, I don't dress down. Because I always look at it like this, Shantae, that your audience is paying to see you. People are taking their money to come see you. So whether we getting $50 for a show or we getting $5,000 for the weekend, someone's paying their money to see me. So I got to give them some type of presentation to let them know, So that's why I think like people like Steve Harvey, DL, you know what I mean? They're looked at a little differently, said, because they also present themselves differently. Not everybody has to do it, but that's their style. And that's kind of became my style. But it took me a long time to figure it out, because you got to remember, when I came out, it was cross colors or crisscross colors, all of that.
The backwards clothes.
Yeah. So I didn't know whether I wanted to be wearing jeans, hats, all kind of shit. So that was kind of me.
That's crazy. And then because you talked about how you didn't really know how to write material.
Yeah.
When did Dannon Green become Dannon Green and finding his voice?
I think, there was a guy named Vince Ware. Because I know Vince Morris, y'all might have heard of him. He's out of Ohio too, but Vince Ware was a brother. He was doing comedy, and this white dude, I forgot his name, was showing me how to write. And what they said, you get a subject, so you want to say dog, and then they said put a circle around the word dog, and then take lines, and everything that relates to a dog, write it down.
Yeah,
fleas, cats, bad food, shitting,
and
take all of those words. And then find yourself a story. Yeah. So that's how I learned in the beginning how to write. And then when I came out here, I had made a promise. So how I got out here is funny. Because I was 26 when I came out here. And I was hanging out at the comedy club in Columbus, Ohio, the Funny Bone. Yeah. Have you played it yet?
I have, but I more with my uncles.
Okay, so right.
Mine. Yeah.
So I was at the Funny Bone, and there was this old school comedian, this white boy named Rich Scheidner. He was there all week. And everybody knows when you're an up-and-coming comic, you go to the Rich Scheidner. You heard of him. Okay, so remember the movie Roxanne? The old school? So man, yeah.
No, but you see, so just FYI, I'm horrible with names. I know faces. Okay. But I have to see.
So if you ever saw the movie Roxanne, he was the one with Steve Martin, beat him up with the tennis racket. Well, anyway, he's Rich Scheidner. He was a heavy hitter back in the day. Yeah. So the whole week I'm there, picking his brain, hanging out. And he took a liking to me. He said, hey, you want to open up for me on Sunday? And I was like, oh, yeah. But of course, the show started late, and I said, nah, I can't do it. Right?
Yeah.
But he asked me, I think it was a Saturday, he asked me, he said, man, how old are you? I said, I'm 26. He said, you should move to L.A. And I said, why? Why you say that? He said, and this is what he told me. He said, because you seem mature enough where you're not going to get caught up in the lights.
Period.
That's what he told me.
Yep.
He said, you should go out there and go for it. And the year later, I moved out to L.A.
That's real.
And that's what got me out here. And then when I came to L.A., it was a whole bunch of stuff going on, right before the riots, all that type of stuff. But I was just trying to find.
Dude, this is
yeah.
a
That's
encyclopedia.
history, right?
Yeah.
I want to edge my seat. I'm like, what happened after that?
So when I came to LA,
Like, so I was there with Rodney King, right? And I was doing the whole
with Rodney
set.
when he got his ass whooped. I told Rodney not to get up. I was like, nigga, stay down. But he kept moving. Cop said, what you want to do? I said, well, finish our job and let me go. No. So what happened was I just started going to clubs, obviously going to clubs and things like that. And I really, I was getting good laughs, but Michael Williams, I ran into Michael Williams on a humble. I mean, fate has helped me out the last, over my career because I was dating this girl out of Columbus, this lady, right? And so she was out here on business, probably about 4 months, 5 months into when I came out here. So we having dinner with some of her friends, right? She was a corporate. She was older than me, but she was corporate and all that stuff. So I'm like sitting there. So one of her friends goes, so Dannon, what is your game plan when you live? What do you want to do? I said, well, I'm looking for animation jobs, and I'm actually going to get into stand-up comedy. She goes, oh, do you? Her name is Mary Major Black. She used to be big with BET.
Damn.
Oh, bet.
Yeah.
How do you remember these names?
I have almost a photographic memory.
That's crazy.
You guys are practicing.
Yeah, really.
I know.
Yeah. Her name is Mary Major Black. So she goes, what do you want to do? And I go, well, so I'm thinking about getting into stand-up, doing comedy. She goes, oh, all right. She goes, well, you see the guy behind you? And I look. I go, yeah. She goes, he owns the only black comedy club in the country. It was Michael Williams.
Look at
Wow.
God.
They was having dinner.
Wow.
He was having dinner. I mean, you can't make this shit up.
Yeah.
So I walked up to him. I said, how you doing, sir? I'm sorry to bother you. I said, I'm a new comic in town, and I was just, they told me you had a comedy club. I'd let her come down. And she said, okay. She said, all right, well, here, I'm going to give you the address. We gave him the address. I went down there, and then he took a liking to me. So he let me be the host of the amateur part of the show. Because the comedy act used to have two shows, if you remember back in the day. They had the amateur part, which ran for like an hour, from like 8 o'clock to 9. Then the main show would start at 9 and go on.
Yep.
So that's where I got my chops from, being able to MC. And then what happened was, time went on, I started making a name for myself. And then to answer your question, it was 96. So you heard of Fat Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
So I was one of the people that started Fat Tuesday.
Nice.
Guy, Tori, and I did. I'm not in the doc. We had our beef at the time, so I'm not in the doc. But
oh man,
yes, but
Man,
we
this is real
we
world comedy
Right,
right,
right.
there.
Yeah, we cleaned it up, but it was tough. But it was me. Him and I were. It was 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like people tell you, if you saw a guy, you saw me back in the day. So I was one of the people that was down with him on Fat Tuesday. I used to open up the show and then bring Guy on, and we booked the show like a club, and we became really the hottest club in the country for at least 7 to 8 years.
That I heard.
We were the number one club.
Yeah.
At the Comedy Store. We saved the Comedy Store actually. The Comedy Store was getting ready to go under.
Yeah.
They was losing money, and our night. This is no lie. We were averaging every Tuesday 3:30.
Yeah.
We was turning away people.
yeah.
People were
I've been to that show.
yeah.
before.
People were
Yeah.
buying tickets for the next week. That's
Yeah.
how, this is 97, 98, 99.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So what happened was, one day, Guy got sick. Okay?
Yeah.
And in the doc, it says that Joe, he gave it to Joe, but no, that wasn't it. That wasn't what happened. But Guy got sick. And he said, Dan, I can't host tonight. He said, you're going to have to host. I said, okay. And I was nervous as hell. When I'm talking about, we would have everybody in there from, if you saw the doc, we had, I remember Magic, Shaq. I was there the night. I hosted the night when Kobe first came to town.
Oh, whoa.
That's how crazy it is. Yeah. So
Damn.
This is wild.
So what happened was, I was nervous. He said, you're going to have to host. So I went out there and I killed it. I was killing it. And then at the end of the night, Herb came to me. He said, damn. You know Herb, Herb, the promoter.
Yeah.
He was promoting.
Herb was our promoter. Yeah.
Man, Herb.
Yeah.
This is Herb before he got the braid.
Yeah. Yes,
pre-braid
Herb.
Herb.
Like, this is Herb.
Cornrows.
15 pounds lighter, too. And wild Herb. So
I'm
Herb
going to
was
need a photo of this.
Yeah. Herb came to me. He said, yo, man, you funny as shit. Because nobody ever saw me really get loose.
Yeah.
I always was the warm-up. And then, when you up-and-coming comic, you ain't getting a lot of time in town.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's when I found out. That's when it kind of all started. Everybody was like, yo, who's this dude? And then I just kept working on it. I didn't sit on it, but I kept working on it. Yeah.
Bro, that is such a great story.
Yeah.
Now you know I got to ask that you brought it up. And also, and if you don't want to talk about it, it's okay. But also the fact that you wasn't in the documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah. Could we talk about that?
Yeah, we could talk about it because we cleared it up, I could probably say I would say on my side, the guy and I were probably best of friends coming up.
Yeah.
But we had a fallout. Won't say what the fallout is, but we had a fallout, and then off and on throughout the years, we would try to be cool, and this stuff was happening.
Yeah.
And then when it came down to, he interviewed me for the doc, right? But I didn't like that because I felt like, why am I getting interviewed when you and I we started this together? So, but I did it, and what happened was, he one day he called me, he said, "Yo, we got a spot." For the doc to be interviewed, and I took it personal.
Yeah.
I could have just said, but I already had my day planned, and I felt like, why am I getting a call for somebody that dropped out when I was the main dude? So I went and did what I had to do on my day, and then I never got the call again to do the doc, and a lot of stuff happened. But yeah, I was not man enough, but what I did, I cleaned the air because we're going to be in the same space, and a lot of people knew. A lot of people knew that I should have been in the document. Anybody that came up in that time knew that I should have been in there. And but we talked and we just, we killed it. We killed the beef.
It's so crazy. And I'm just thinking about certain things in my career. And I don't want to be the person to like claim things, but I sit here and I go, like, when I started, it was so hard for me because I dressed like a stud. And everybody was telling me, you should dress more girly, you should do this, you should do that. And as I started doing stand-up, I started seeing more of me.
Right.
And so I'm not claiming that I started that path, but I just remember people that I looked up to that I assume was an LGBT wasn't rocking like that.
Right.
And I don't need like the accolades. I don't need to, Shantae did this. But it's so interesting to me that like it costs nothing to show a little love to somebody who's done stuff with you.
Yeah.
And y'all got two different career paths.
Yeah, we do. And we do. I mean, and I'm telling you, I even with the show that we got now, when I went live and I was giving shout outs and I gave him a shout out.
Yeah.
We cool. I could call him now, we could talk.
Yeah.
We know the situation. It's nothing to be, it's not something I'm gonna hide because it happened. But the issue really was, I would just say what hurt me more is that, and I told somebody, I said I would have never done that to him.
Yeah.
And then someone said, well, Dan, that's the difference. Just because you wouldn't have done it doesn't mean someone else won't do it. And he had his reasons, and I had a reason. And again, if you clashing with a dude, you know what I mean? He ain't going to extend the olive branch no more than, than what he did. So, at first I was real hurt over it because I know I had contributed a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I had issues where I almost got in fights with 3 main comics out here defending the club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but time went on and again, this is 2026. That was years ago, and then we finally a couple years ago at his birthday, man, I just went on stage. I was at his birthday. Matter of fact, it was the year, he might have been last year. He invited me, because we still were kind of on rocky grounds. The doctors came out, 21, 22.
Yeah.
So I had called him and said, hey, man, how you doing? I was just thinking about you. Hope you're doing good. That's what I told him. He said, man, I'm having a birthday party. Man, why don't you come on down? It was at the Improv.
Yeah.
And so I went down there and it was packed. And what he did, he had like about 4 or 5 comics, no more than 4 or 5, come on stage, roast him, and I was one of them. So when I went on stage, I just said to the audience, I said, I bet y'all surprised to see me. And everybody started laughing, right? Because, the people knew we there,
Yeah.
But I did some jokes. I told a couple funny stories about us. And then I just told them right there, I said, look, my man, I'm done with all that.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? I didn't bring up what the subject was so that people wouldn't try to, but I said, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Man, no, I'm not, I think we need to get past that. We dapped it up, we shook hands, I left stage,
That's cool of you to do it like that on stage.
Yeah.
Well, he's a very humbling guy. We had a little thing on set because he texted me and my brain. I seen the text. I ain't gonna lie, but I always go like, how hard is it for me to just respond back? Mm-hmm. And I go, I'll text him later, and then I just forget. But I literally see it and not like see it, click it, and then like go to type.
I think I wish you Happy New Year. Or
it was like Merry Christmas or something like that. Or Thanksgiving.
Whatever it was, yeah.
But he came up to me on set and I love that because I be feeling some type of way about how people move. But also understanding like I just be in my own space sometimes, and I don't mean to do certain things.
And I ain't take it personal, but I talked to you about it because, see, for me, I think I'm different.
Yeah.
Because my brother, he passed, but he was like this. If you do us dirty, we don't fuck with you no more. That's how he was. Like and I'm talking about he was like that. Like, because he was also a hustler. He was a drug dealer. So if you burnt him, you better hope you lived.
Yeah.
And then if you do him dirty, you know what I mean? We don't deal no more.
Yeah.
And I'm like that because I value friends. I don't have a lot of people that I really consider friends.
Yeah.
Because I don't trust everybody. And everybody ain't your friend.
Yeah.
You know what I
Everybody
mean?
ain't your
So when I hit Shantae up, plus we had gotten the show, so you're like, this is my girl, you know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, I don't know if I said happy, maybe, I don't say if I said
like
happy Thanksgiving
or something,
maybe, she hit me back, and I was like, I ain't say nothing to it, but we got on set, we shot, I made sure we got the episode out the way first, because I didn't want to have it on her mind.
Right.
And I said, look at motherfucker, I'm just saying that. No, but, but I just said something to her like, hey, and she was cool about it. It wasn't me pulling her coattail, but like, again, for me, I value friendship, man, because in this game, we take it for granted. It's not, everybody came from somewhere to try to make it here. So almost everybody's an individual almost.
Yeah.
So when you meet some people that you think are cool, and we've done shows together.
Yeah.
So I've always
Yeah.
respected her comedy.
Yeah.
And then you had hired me too to do your cool down there. So I was like, that's one reason I called y'all, but it's all good though.
No, I appreciate
You forgot to send a text
to him. I forgot to
I see.
respond.
I see.
And in all fairness, I'm in a place, and this is gonna sound messed up. Not that I don't want it in my life, but I had to stay away from friendships. I've been like so cool on just having new friendships come into my life until I get myself together.
Yeah, and that's solid.
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you not everybody's supposed to be your friend.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But and it wasn't. It's not like I call you all the time and girl, what you doing?
No, but I appreciate that.
But I just
because,
felt it was the holiday. I said, you know what? Hey,
you are a solid guy, and I appreciate that. And it's interesting because I wonder, do you feel like, being the humble guy that you are, do you feel like that's pushed back sometimes in the industry for you?
Yeah. Because the thing about me, when I get on that other side, it's hard for them to get me back. Mm-hmm. So it's not that I have a mean streak, but it's like, all right, But the thing is, see, I grew up in a place called the Hilltop in Philly.
That's in Walking Dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Well, it's called the Hilltop Hustlers, right? So everybody was hustlers. No punks in the neighborhood. I mean, dudes is about that life, really. But I grew up in a way that you don't do a lot of woofing. You don't do a lot of shit talking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You either gonna do something or we gonna kill it and keep it going. Because I'm not gonna walk around wondering if you gonna bust me in the back of my head.
Right.
Yeah.
So we gonna box and we gonna fight. We gonna get it out.
Yeah.
That's how my neighborhood was. So for me, it makes it easier to go on about life because if you cool with everybody cool.
Yeah.
Now somebody may come out and be sideways talking because they hating. Bitch, shut your bitch ass up.
Right.
Then you like, damn nigga, all right. And then you getting down.
Yeah.
But you know that situation.
Yeah.
So when I grew up like that, and then my own upbringing, like I said, losing my mom young and stuff like that, it made me. I became more aware of people's emotions and feelings.
Yeah.
So because of that, I try to look out for people. You know what I mean? But when you do that, people try to take that as a sense of weakness, and it's not.
Yeah.
So a guy like me, they don't like because they think it's weak. Then when I read them the truth or tell them the truth, then I come off like, oh, this nigga mad or he bitter. No, you wanted the truth. This is the energy you wanted.
Yeah.
So now we got that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've had situations like that even in the game now where dudes will say something online. I'm like, yo, what the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't do all of this online battle. You know how people go back and forth? No, I'm calling you up directly because I got your number. My man, what's our issue?
Right.
Well, you said this is, okay, cool. So can we get by it? Well, man, I don't want, one guy said, man, I really want to mess with you unless we got a gig. All right, cool. Bam. You ain't got to worry about me. And now the dude's trying to hit me back on but now, I'm gone.
That's common with people that have a lot of patience. I feel like it's very common for you to endure so much, and then there's always the feather, and then like you said, it's just there's no return. Like once that clicks,
because people take it as people don't know. I can really fight.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be out here. I'm not gonna hold back. You'll never see me slap boxing. You'll see, and I'm too old for it now, but you'll see comedians out there playing around. Nigga, I don't do all of that.
Yeah.
When these hands go up, nigga, they mean something. No, I'm not bragging.
That's a lethal person though, because
I'm not bragging as if I could, because I can't beat everybody.
Yeah.
But like I always say, I tell people online, I may not be able to beat you, but for about a minute and a half, you have to think about this. You have to think about this
Whooping that
decision you
ass.
just made.
Yeah.
Now, if we both get past this, let's go have a beer. Then we
Yeah,
good. You know?
yeah.
So,
But you get a 90-second life lesson right here.
Yeah.
Because you can't beat everybody. And plus, people don't fight fair. I don't use weapons. I don't carry a pistol. So, I'm past all that.
That's old school beat your ass.
Yeah.
So I got a few
Yeah,
things
come
to
on,
ask
good.
you before, because the history of this, I love it because we haven't had a chance.
Right.
But I want to know how does a Dannon Green joke come about?
A Dannon Green joke comes about really now, looking at my career, my style. I like to call myself, and I have it on my bio, like the Black George Carlin.
Love
So I'm
it.
talking about life.
Yeah.
And I really like to talk about always the gray area in comedy.
Yeah.
That's how I get them. Because if you do black and white comedy, and what I mean by that is if you do a joke and then the is black and then the white part is where they can know what they're talking about. It's
Yeah.
not about the color scheme, not about race. It's
Right.
about, wow, I know where you're going. You say, yeah, so I got shot. And they be like, I know how this is going to end. That's not, you know what I mean? But when you do that gray area and you flip it, and they go, oh shit, I ain't see that coming.
Yeah.
That's the kind of comedy
Good
I like to
misdirect.
do.
Yeah.
So I like to do it where you really try to think. So I don't watch a lot of comedy.
Good. Yeah.
I don't watch
like-
comedy. And I
don't
hate
like
that
to
I
either.
don't, but I don't watch it. There's only two comedians that I'll watch, and two more that I'll watch because they're friends of mine. I only watch Dave Chappelle and Bill Burr.
Yep.
They're the only two I watch. Outside of, I used to watch George Carlin when I was coming up.
Yeah.
And then I only watch like DL and Earthquake, and those because they're friends of mine. You know what I mean? And I
Why
watch
is that though?
because I don't like to get. I really try to make everything original.
Yeah.
I really like to feel
feel
like
that.
there's nothing. Whatever I'm talking about, I haven't heard before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of a conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you say something, I'm like, oh shit, that's, we all say that. You
Yeah.
know, like you know
Yeah.
how we do. We're like, oh, that shit could be funny.
Yeah.
But if you're around comics, you ain't gonna tell me. I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna write that shit down.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's how my stuff becomes, really about.
No, I love that because
Yeah.
I just started watching comedy more so from doing the podcast, but also I feel the same way. I get very discouraged if I hear somebody do something that's along the lines.
It does.
Even though there's so many different perspectives and the topics have been talked about over and over again. It's really about your perspective in a
Right.
lot of ways. But it is very discouraging to be like, man, they're gonna think I took this and did
Yeah.
this. And
Well, there's two things you said that really, like you said, the topic has been talked about, which is true. But your audience is always changing.
yeah, true that.
And people come and they don't, you got new audiences all the time. It's like we all know how to drive a car.
Yeah.
So when you see your niece or nephew learn, like, nigga, you don't know how to drive a car. You gotta
Right.
think like, no, he ain't never drove a car
Right,
before. You know what I mean?
right.
So it's somebody new listening to comedy.
Right.
This is why I don't listen to it. But the other reason is because of what you said. By not listening to it, okay, for example, what do you have in your hand?
Mike.
And what do you have?
Mike.
And I got a mic.
Yeah.
When you on the stage, that's your mic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not on there with you.
Yeah.
So
and they all three different mics.
and they're all three different mics.
Yeah.
So when you go on stage, that's your stage.
yeah.
So now if the audience, you may come right back behind and have a joke that someone in front of you may say, right? Say you had a show.
Yeah.
He opens up for you or something like that, right?
Yeah.
He hits a part of the joke. And you might say, yeah, what he said, blah, blah, blah. And then you go, but when and then you just go into your
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Right. It's a
So there's
quick
not that
pivot.
you
Yeah.
can't do it. Now, if you're doing the exact type of concept in terms of how it's going to end,
Yeah.
but very seldom that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So but I don't like to listen. So I only like to listen if I'm hosting.
Yeah. I feel
and
that.
when I mean
'Cause then
hosting-
you can tag off.
Right,
of-
they can tag off it.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
usually only the last comment that goes on.
Yeah.
Unless I'm in the foyer or in the bar area and I hear somebody do a thunderous laugh. I'm like, oh shit, what did he say? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I go,
yeah.
oh, he said that, and then I may have something that relates to it.
I like hosting because it does that for me too.
Yeah.
What is there a joke that you shelved that it's been hard to bring it to the stage because it won't get laughs, or do you even
no,
do you drop jokes if
Never.
they're not working? No.
because in college I learned something. Okay, in speech communication and communications, the most important part of a conversation is the transition from one subject to the next.
Yeah.
How do you get from this subject to the next subject? Right? That's what they teach you.
Bars.
Right.
Yep.
So when I'm doing material, I could talk about OJ today and getting on the Bronco chase
Yeah.
because of how I would transition it. So I go, yo, man, I might say something like, man, it's hard to find good friends.
Right.
Right? So first thing you're thinking, right? You think about friends, right?
Yeah.
I said, because y'all remember back in the day when Al Collins drove OJ around?
Yeah.
Man, I mean, that's a friend. I said, because if that was me, when the cops came, I'd be like, yo, nigga, they got you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I brought up friends, which is something that is relevant to 2026 or whenever, and was able to now go back and grab that joke.
That's
Right.
crazy. Now, in the midst of that, if people don't laugh in that, do you feel like you got to explain that part? You just
No more. It used to be that the dead time, again, used to get me. But remember what I said, what Michael Williams taught me. Just because they don't laugh didn't mean they didn't get it.
that's real. That's real.
Because and I'm quite sure we all have.
Yeah, yeah.
People come up to you at the end of the your show, girl, that was funny. But when you said this,
Yeah,
and you think in
yeah.
your mind like that shit was that was the least thing on my mind.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
But what they remember is what they want to remember.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no, I don't drop
That's a
the
bar.
problem I have is I
Yeah.
forget shit sometimes. Like, damn, why ain't write it down?
Yeah.
And then be able to bring it back. But no, I don't.
That's
I don't
why I
drop
like
nothing.
recording. That's why I like.
You got and I'm bad with that. I have to do better with that.
Yeah, you
But-
have, because I'll go back and listen to stuff now and go, oh, I should take this and put it in now. Putting it down and actually doing it is one thing, but I say this on other on other podcasts, like you're like you're going towards a special,
Yes.
so that's something else to bring up. But like, how are you writing towards your special? Are you picking a topic? You want to be able to expand the jokes, because there's so much you can leave out.
Right.
And then if you leave it out of that special, even though you're talking about a certain topic, do you even try to bring that up next time you're trying to do a special? I asked like 5 questions in one.
Well, no. You were kind of explaining one, and then you
Yeah,
asked the question
yeah.
same time. So I'm with you with it. It's like when So when I have a show, like when I'm on the road with DL,
Yeah.
I get 20, 25 minutes when I was doing the road with DL to do, before him
Yeah.
to open up, and I'm feeling the audience. You know what I'm saying? And I'm at a point now I have so much material that I'm feeling whatever the audience might.
Right.
Like,
It's like a
I can hit
choose
him
your
with
own
this one.
adventure
Right,
set.
right. Now, if you're doing your special, you have to know, okay, I got 4 jokes that I know they're gonna piss on their pants.
Yeah.
If you got a half an hour, if you're doing a half an hour,
Right.
Yeah.
If you're doing an hour, you got your 8 jokes. You know what I mean? Because each joke is going maybe a minute and a half, 2-3 minutes. So you got 8, that's 24 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you're moving, you're doing other stuff. You're maybe not fucking with the audience, but
Right.
Yeah.
So what I try to do is I try to make sure that whatever joke I know is going to be my home run, I just know. Like, I know my jokes. Like when I got a bit, I got my dog bit that I
Yeah.
do. And that's almost 3 to 5 minutes, And when I go through that,
Yeah.
like
That's what I saw
Yeah.
on my show.
yeah, right. You're right. And I'm like this. Feel the audience. I got them. Okay, keep going. Keep the gun loaded. I got them, Coop. I don't know if they may not still be with me. I trying to pull the pistol out.
Yeah.
And then transition to that main joke and then kill him.
Yeah.
And then go back in. So there's no...
You stay strapped.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
There's right. And there's no right or wrong way. People can say that all you want. That's where people get fucked up at. Because people think, they'll tell you, well, no, you should do it. No, there's no right or wrong way because you
Yeah.
may feel something differently. And then when it comes to a special, like you're doing this, you're going to edit the shit anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you may say something in the beginning and forget it and then pop it at the end and they be like, you know what, we're going to throw that in front.
Yeah. That does
Yep.
make sense.
Yeah.
Editing saves a lot
Yeah.
of things.
It's magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to still be sharp on you got to be sharp on your, with your material because you don't want the edit to look, like, that's a weird laugh. They
Yeah,
wasn't laughing a minute
yeah.
ago. Now they, they fall.
cut to
Right.
the
Yeah,
audience.
Right.
That's how you really know how many times they cut to the audience when you're watching the special. if it's really like going
Right, it is going well,
or
yeah.
if it's not. At least that's how it was old school. You'd be like, they ain't cut to the audience at all.
Yeah. Like, let him keep talking. 'Cause
Right.
we don't want them to see him, but yeah.
I love
That's
this,
funny.
man. This has been really amazing.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Got more history and just.
I mean, it's been really educational for me.
yeah, I
though.
know.
I'm
I'm
at my
like, we
seat.
might have to do a part 2 because I ain't
Yeah.
even really get into
Yeah.
the joke before the laugh. But
Yeah.
but we did. I mean, damn, your history alone. You've done Comic View. You've done so
I
many
did Comic View.
things.
Yeah. You know, I
First
look
black
at it.
animator.
Yeah.
First
yeah,
black animator.
Yeah. You know what's funny? It's like, it's a trip, especially now that we got this show,
Yeah.
because it didn't hit me until probably the 4th episode we shot, because it happened so quick.
Yeah.
But all of us, and then we'd be lying to say, when we come into LA, you want to get a show, you want to do films.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and so for me, it's almost like I stuck to my guns. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't stick to their guns because if it ain't working for them, they don't know how to navigate through this business, and you got to know how to get through it. You know what I'm saying? And you got to take advantage of it. You should take advantage if your name is Wayne's.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I don't know why people. Oh man, no, you can make your own path, but do you know how motherfucking hard it is to get in? If somebody can say, "Yo, oh, that's." Such, okay, come on. They're going to give you now. The pressure's really on you because
Yeah.
you got to produce.
Right.
But you're supposed to take advantage of the situation.
I've learned that later in my career
Right.
to stop caring, but it is pressure in the beginning, especially when you're finding your voice. But the one thing that I've learned is the gift and the curse. It will open up doors. But if people don't like my family or they didn't do something like they wanted them to do,
Yeah.
that also falls
Right.
down.
and
on
that's
me.
why I said you can't get mad at having that advantage.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if it's going to be an advantage or not.
Right.
You know, if a motherfucker came up to me, it's just like us.
Yeah.
And this is the point you got to look at. How many times have we gone out? I've been up for 2 shows in my career. I was up for 2 major shows. I shot the pilot for 1. Everybody Hates Chris. I thought my life was going to change.
Yeah.
That was the only time I was ever depressed in LA. I shot the pilot. We were worried more about whether the show was going to get picked up. 2 weeks before before they start advertising, Dan Dugan, the executive producer, calls me. He says, "Dan, I got good news and bad news." I'm like, and I already had knew because one of my boys saw the pilot. He said, "The good news, the show got picked up. Unfortunately, they cut your character."
Damn.
And I slept on my couch for a week.
Damn.
Because I knew that was going to be a hit show, and my life
Who
was
was
going.
you playing?
I was going to play Mr. Corliss, which was going to be Tashina Arnold's boss. She was going to work. She was going to work at a realtor office, but she never went to work. If you remember that, they switched it. But Ali Leroy, shout out to Ali Leroy, executive producer. He wound up giving me 5 episodes.
Nice.
And they brought me back at different characters, and it really
Nice.
helped me. And then I was up for the TV show That's So Raven.
Yeah.
I made it to network for that show. To read as her dad, but they gave it to Rondell. You know, I'm black. She like that shit ain't. You know what I mean?
Mama,
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
Light skin mom.
Right. But so what I'm saying is, this business, for how it goes, it's not many times things can happen for the way it happened for us.
Yeah.
How many people can go to a movie premiere and leave with a show?
Yeah.
Period.
And not just leave with a show. I mean, it's linear. It's what's new, what's cracking.
Yeah.
It's also what they got game plan for it. You know, if it goes to what Trent has been talking to me about, if it can go the way that they hope it goes with other things that they're trying to do, it could be big for us. So how many people can get that? And we ain't had to it's 1,000 of her.
Yeah,
It's 1,000 of you. It's 1,000. It's like we take it for granted. It's a lot of comedians that could easily do that show.
That's where I think merit and also just being a good human comes into play too.
Sometimes
everyone's clocking that.
It's sometimes it do because sometimes we see motherfuckers. We be like, God damn, this nigga make it.
Yeah.
This nigga smoke weed and stab niggas, and he's
I see more of them make it than more of humbling and good people.
Yeah. But the thing about it is, see, I don't owe nobody.
Yeah.
I didn't sell my soul to make it.
True that.
I ain't
in a good
kissed
mental space.
Yeah.
and-
Oh man, I didn't kiss no ass.
Yeah.
I didn't dog nobody out. I never backstab a comic.
Yeah.
So there's all comics can say to me is congratulations.
Yeah.
They can't, you know what I mean? They can't go and say, damn, you know that nigga Dannon, he a foul nigga anyway. You know?
Yeah.
No, they can't say that about me.
Exactly.
If a nigga say that to you, you gotta ask him, what did you do?
Right.
You know what I mean? So because of that, that's why this show, like I said, after the fourth, fifth episode, I was like, okay. And then the funny thing about it was when Trent had put out the trailer, and he goes, you know, you can talk about it, but it was on Black Vision. It was on their
I was
website.
like, I ain't see the trailer.
Yeah. I'm gonna show it to you. Yo, it's hot. So I was like, he said, you can talk about it if you want to. I said, nope, I ain't gonna talk about it. I said, I'm not talking about it until I see the press release.
Yeah.
I told
you sent me that yesterday.
Yeah, I sent you that, right. I said, because I'm not gonna be that, because again, like, you know, everybody ain't happy for us.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't happy because you got a podcast.
Yeah.
They're not. I mean, just keep the shit a buck.
Absolutely.
So you think if I go out there without the press release and start telling them, like, yo, man, you know, I got a show, man, and then they don't go, it's gonna be niggas like, this motherfucker, big mouth, list talking motherfucker. No wonder he ain't get a show. You know what I mean? So that's why when the press release came out, I was like, okay, now I can make. And even now, I'm not even bragging. I'm just putting stuff on social media because we have to promote it, and I want people to know. So, no, I look at it like, for what we have achieved right now, because our career is, and this is just really a start.
Yeah.
You know, it's really a start. We don't know what doors can open. They allowed me to write 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So out of the 10 that we shot, I wrote 2.
Fire.
Who would have ever given? But really, who would have given me that shot?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and it sounds like, you know, we can accept it, but when people look at it, oh my God, that's so great. But we're saying to ourselves, like, you don't understand what it takes to get that.
Real talk.
So that's why I look at it like, you know, I think boxing really helped me. Because I don't have to walk around with no because I know I can handle myself. So I can be cool. Be silly I want. Danny, you a bitch. All right, nigga. We're gonna be a bitch inside out. Let me know. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't even care no more because it's like I'm getting mine. One way or another. I was getting mine before this. You know what I'm saying? Before the show. So this is just a blessing out of nowhere. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I said, how many people come up to you and say, yo, you got a show? Ain't gonna give you the lead.
Give you the lead.
And then I got people that I like to work with.
Yeah.
You know, you're a lead. It's just that the show's name, it ain't but 3 barbers in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? I mean,
you
know, and we all have powerful characters. You know, you as Sammy, him as Marcus. And I'm not in every scene. There's scenes that I haven't even been in that they shoot. So we really wrote it, and Chaz wrote it as like what a real show would be like. And I think, I have to tell you, man, I think people are gonna be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
It's dope. It's dope, man.
Yeah,
Dannon Green, this has been amazing.
Appreciate it.
We do something before we say our goodbyes.
Okay.
But do me a solid and give the people some bad advice in this industry or comic world.
Bad advice?
Yeah, bad advice only.
So no good advice.
No good advice. Bad advice right there.
Okay, so for you women, want bad advice? Okay, fuck everybody. Okay? If you want to get to the top, fuck everybody. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Now that ain't no good. That's bad advice.
That's hilarious.
Dannon Green, man. This has been amazing. Thank you so much for doing this. Let them know where they can find you, what you got going on.
Well, you can find me on Dannon Green 66 on my Instagram, Dannon Green on Facebook, Dannon D Grizzle on my TikTok. And hey, just follow me. We got the show coming out. I do stand up. I book my shows. We got the Ice House show coming up. I'm not showing this up on the 27th of this month, but
you do a monthly show too.
That's the one. Yeah. So I do either the Ice House and now the Ha-Ha's been. I did my last show at the Ha-Ha, so I'm gonna probably do the Ha-Ha after that one. Maybe my April show might be Ha-Ha. That's my birthday one. But no, you can follow me on everything and just look out for the show Barbershop Larry. Okay, man, I'm telling you, this young lady right here, I'm telling you, she can act. Yeah. She can really.
We both. Yeah, it's gonna be a great show.
I'm excited.
Yeah, she can really act, and I'm really really thankful that there's some chicks in this game I would not have wanted that part. I would have been like, yo, and trust me, because there was somebody that they recommended for another role, and I was like, I don't fuck with.
I feel that.
Yeah, so she's really got the talent, and I've seen up big stuff for you after this.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Same with you.
Yeah,
Same with you.
Yeah.
Only moving forward from here. My man.
Right on, comedian David Jackson from St. Louis.
Dan, you from St. Louis?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, what's up?
No. The reason I said I've been to St. Louis so many times.
Oh.
And I just did Broadway, the KJ's on Broadway.
Yeah.
I just did his show back then, but yeah.
Small world.
I didn't know you was from St. Louis.
Yeah.
I've been there so many times.
I'm from the Loop.
Okay.
You can find me on my socials.
He's a banger, y'all.
At Original David Jackson. That's IG, TikTok, and every Wednesday, Microdose Comedy in Eagle Rock. It's one of the hottest shows in LA. It's popping off. And then on the road with this young lady right here.
Come on now, Shantae Wayans. You know what it is. We are on tour, Select the Sin Comedy Tour 2026. Get your tickets at cwayans.com. Follow me on all platforms at cwayans.com. And don't forget to follow and subscribe. The Joke Before the Laugh. We're on YouTube. We are on Instagram. And we do early access, some behind the scenes on patreon.com/cwayans. I'll see you next time.
Run it
Thank
up.
you so much for watching. Peace.
Peace.